Hello and welcome to episode 12 of the Inner Miami Show. And I'm one half of your hosting duo, Brandon Griffin, and with me is Mike Caprice to the game Longan. How you doing, my friend?
I am nervous because it's going to be cold out tomorrow, and I'm not sure capris are going to be weather appropriate.
Listen,
I've already
man, I'm probably not wearing the kilt tomorrow.
wear some leggings
It's gonna
under
be
it.
too cold for that.
No, put some listen.
And it's not a kilt, then it's a skirt.
Listen, if you feel, I'm sorry, and this needs to be said, if you're not man enough to wear the kilt when it's cold, you don't deserve to wear it when it's warm.
Also, if you put leggings under a kilt, it's not a kilt anymore. It's a skirt.
That's fair. No, I'm wrong. No, I was wrong. Just the leggings. I'm actually going to go back to, if you're going to wear the kilts, you got to wear it all the time. And so
we'll see. It'll be a game time decision, like some of our players.
I am a little nervous of the weather.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a little chilly. I'm wearing my game outfit. I'm going to go with it's because one of our readers or one of our listeners did ask the question is like what we're going to wear. I'm going to wear the new pink hoodie. Pink jacket. I will have together Tyrannus underneath, and I will be wearing my capris, possibly with leggings under them. That might be my concession.
So, and what I will be wearing is I will be wearing the Togetherness jersey. I forget what the jacket is called. It's not the Anthem jacket from last year, but it's
Anthem
quarter zip.
It's
quarter zip with the hood. So I forget what they call that, but I'll be wearing that. I do not wear the jersey before the first game of the season. I'm superstitious like that. And I will not be wearing a hat because anybody who knows me knows I have a tradition. Every opening day, I buy a new hat. So this is my hat for last year, and I will be buying a new one for this year.
I don't know how you're going to buy a hat at the store.
I'm not going to go to the team store. I'll go to one of the shipping containers.
Even that,
you normally get in and out of there.
Nuts.
I know a guy. His name's Mike Long, and he'll get me in.
No, but I'm excited.
Yeah, man,
I'm
just excited.
We are 23. Okay, so officially it's 22 hours, 57 minutes from kickoff. Yeah. Unofficially, because we know it's not going to start on time. There was a Twitter thread about this. The NFL, so obviously every other domestic soccer league starts on time. When you watch a European game, you know if it starts at 1, it starts at 1. NFL, if kickoff's at 1, it starts on time, right? There's never a question. MLS, it's going to start within 15 minutes of that time. You know, probably not bad. Within 8, probably not longer than 15, but sometime in there. Why can't we get this right?
It never starts at like a 15 or a 10. It's always at 8:07.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Something like that. It's always weird. Yeah.
I've never been a fan of that because usually I'm rushing to get my tailgate cleaned up, gonna get in the stadium for that 7:00 kickoff, and I get there. They haven't done the national anthem yet. They're still talking about something. It's annoying. So, and especially tomorrow, I want to get in there a little early. Going to be a little bougie here, but some of the food they've been talking about in the Northwest Club looks damn good tomorrow. So
yeah,
I need enough time to get in there.
I think I saw lobster. What was it?
There were some lobster rolls.
It looked what, beef Wellington?
I don't know, but I'm excited. I put it on my my Twitter feed. Michelle Kaufman did a bunch of pictures of it. I don't think it's from Michelle, but she did some too.
No, it's was it Armando?
Armando, yeah, that might have been it. I saw Joe Kerr texted me, and it looked really good. So I'm excited. I'm going with it. And so here's my problem. Siege, who you and I are both members with, they're bringing Bay 13 tomorrow, so I'm gonna eat and drink with them, and then gonna go into Northwest Club and eat and drink some more. I am going to be one full fan celebrating a win tomorrow night. That's my expectation.
I agree. Yeah. And I'll be in the North Stand, not having free food, so I'll be filling up beforehand.
I'll tell you what, if there are lobster rolls, I'll sneak you one out because I love you like
Ooh,
that.
I know you do, man. You're always looking out for me. You're a good dude.
I
But
take care of my boys.
yeah, speaking of good dudes, um, our master chef has been working hard, and we are, for those who don't know, we are now roster compliant. We were
Well,
compliant this afternoon. No, not well.
no,
We're
because
compliant.
there was a tweet that came out that said they heard we are. We're all assuming we are.
Paul Tenorio confirmed that we were roster compliant. It wasn't that he heard. It said he has heard from multiple sources that we are
right.
roster
That he's heard
compliant.
different sources. So I'll feel better when I wake up in the morning, but I'm not worried. Like I don't think feel better is not the right term. I just don't know
Well,
what we haven't heard yet. So
I
jumping
think the
right in.
news that just came out. So let's throw it up first, and so everybody can see who the outgoing players are that have been announced over the past couple days. First of all, our captain Gregory, who's probably been top 3 players to ever throw on the Inter Miami jersey. Has been sold back to Brazil for I think it was 2.5 or 2.8 million dollars. So getting that salary off the books really helps. Getting some transfer fee in helps because we can convert some of that to GAM. So that was a move that had to be made for roster compliance reasons, and something we had kind of talked about for a couple episodes, specifically since we did not see him suit up for Newell's. We pretty much assumed he was gone. Emerson Rodriguez, dude's gone again, out on loan, back to Milianos in Colombia, the club we purchased him from. They were really excited to have him back, so hopefully he can get things back on track there. Um, Eddie Escona, who was the first academy product ever signed by Inter Miami, on loan to the Las Vegas Lights of USL with an option to buy. And right before we hopped on, probably half an hour ago, we had Coco Jean. The club announced that they have used their one-time buyout to buy him out of his contract, shedding what is a hefty charge because he was commanding quite a high
Yeah, I think
salary. I believe it was
900.
up
I
in the
think
six.
900K.
Yeah, he was like a max TAM guy. So good to get that off the books. And I think those moves are all things that had to happen for us to be roster compliant. And I'm sure.
And I
What
think
do
we
you
hear
think of
one
those?
more. I think I don't. I think we will hear one, and that's kind of what I was alluding to. Of
I think we hear one more. I think it'll be Harvey Neville. It's not going to be who you
okay,
think it is.
I think Yedlin. I think still is a possibility. I know you're gonna say no, but I still think it
The
is.
reason I don't think Yedlin's a possibility is because we have heard zero rumors.
At this
A guy
point,
like Yedlin's agent was like, when he was coming here, was like leaking everything out to the press. He's not a
I'm
guy that's
just
going to keep things quiet,
Yedlin's name
in
was
my
coming up
opinion.
a lot on the buyout. There was a lot of buyout rumors around Yedlin, specifically around his
Yeah.
retirement. The fact that we bought out Coco, that's where I think I could see Yedlin going out. And listen, I don't want Yedlin to go, but when you also are hearing that we're looking at a left back who I think I heard could have also played right back, the guy from Houston. I just think there's more. And I'm that's not a Harvey Neville. I just think there'll be another name we'll hear. Maybe not tonight. Maybe it'll come out in a few days. Like we're at roster compliance, but just because we're there doesn't mean everything's being announced yet.
Yeah, I mean, we still haven't heard the official announcement for Redondo, who we all know that deal's pretty
It sounds locked.
well locked and
Yeah.
loaded. But the other reason I don't think we're going to move Yedlin is because in Tata's press conference today, which I cannot confirm because Inter Miami does not translate from Spanish to English, but based off of some really awesome people who were kind enough to translate for us, um, Tata said that Julian Gressel likes playing in the midfield, is going to play in the midfield, basically, is what he said. So I do not think, if that's Tata's plan, I don't think Yedlin goes anywhere
But
because we
Tata
don't have another
also
right back.
Right, but Tata also alluded to the fact that he wasn't going to talk too much about the roster because last time he did, Gregory's out. I don't feel like Coco Jean, since he basically never played for Tata, was the name he was alluding to. So I think there's something more. I do want to cover, Pablo, your question. How can we justify keeping Mr. Glass Robinson? He's free.
He's free.
So he's a Generation Adidas player. He's on the last year of his Generation Adidas contract, I believe. Because of that, he doesn't hit us against the cap. He's basically a free player. That next year we'll shed him only because he's not free anymore, or he'll have to play for a nothing contract. But that's why he'll stick around, just because there's no point to a player that with him who does have potential. Just he's Mr. Glass. If he's not costing you anything, you keep him on the roster, because if you can bring him in for a U.S. Open Cup game or something of that nature, it doesn't hurt us.
Or if there's somebody who wants to, even like a USL side, if they paid a transfer fee for him, I think we could convert that all to GAM because he was a draft pick. So that there's some trade potential there. I know he was heavily linked to Charleston Battery because he's a South Carolina guy, kind of going home. But Mike did point out something really interesting. If you go to the Inter Miami website and you go to the roster section, Robbie Glass Hamstrings Robinson is the only player to still be pictured in the old kit. Every other player on the site has been updated to be in the new kit, including Coco Jean was on there, and I think Gregory was on there still when we checked this afternoon.
Yeah. So Robinson, I remember
weird.
last year he got injured. It was kind of a big deal because he didn't stick around. He actually went, I don't remember where it was. He left the area to go rehab someplace else. That's kind of why I think it's probably happening, is that he's just not around to retake the photo. But it is weird. Like, it's just something and it's very noticeable because you go to pages like pink, dude in black.
Well, I think they just did those photos too, like with Media Day. I think they posted a video
it's within the past week
media,
or so.
So yeah, he may be rehabbing that hamstring. And
Poor
whoever
guy.
he's rehabbing with is making a fortune off of this guy.
Not really, because he's not referenceable. You can't go like, look, I saved Robbie Robinson's career. He's still back here every
Listen, I don't think a doctor has ever had so much repeat business as a doctor for Robbie Robinson.
I hope he's going. Listen, he should also be going to a different doctor if he's going back to the same guy, because this doctor's not.
No, but
we're joking. I like Robbie. I've liked him from the beginning. I want him to be successful.
Mike's on record as saying, when healthy and on the field, he is our best striker.
Whoa. Suarez is better.
Before Suarez.
Before Suarez. Like,
pre-Suarez.
I will stand behind that comment as long as you don't mention like Suarez is the starter. But
listen, I still can't believe Suarez is on our team. So I
get it, but I'm just saying, healthy.
Robbie.
Robbie's more of a threat right now than Campana. I know you hate it, but I'm going to stick with it.
Who was our leading goal scorer last year?
Dude, broke clocks right twice a day.
Campana.
Dude, he's at $2 million scoring only in like cup games, not even the important ones, because he almost cost us the League's Cup final. Robbie comes in MLS games and just starts blazing a trail and then gets re-injured. But when he's healthy, he is as a threat as anyone on that team.
God, I can't wait till Campana shuts you up, man.
I hope he does. Like, listen, it's to my benefit to have this train of thought, right? Because if I'm right, I get to say I'm right. If I'm wrong, he helps us win games, and I get to be happy. So it's a win-win for me.
Fair. Interesting. So any of you guys who tuned in to our interview over the on Sunday with Anthony at the Brummy podcast heard us talk about and I kind of went on a tangent about sponsorships and how we are paying for Messi's salary. And I said the club was being very strategic with the way that they're doing things and how they timed out things to expire to really maximize on Messi's profit. And today we found out that Drive Pink is dead. Drive Pink Stadium does not exist anymore. Inter Miami has signed an agreement for the naming rights to what was Drive Pink Stadium. It's now called Chase Stadium. So JP Morgan Chase purchased the naming rights. We've heard rumors of what the price tag is. I'm not comfortable actually quoting those because we don't know for sure, but it is substantial.
I just say what I would say is, because both of I heard this number, it was substantially more. Like,
Yeah.
not double, not triple. It was a lot more. Like, this was a big number that they paid for
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, which is a good move from the club to maximize on profits. Investing in top tier talent like Redondo, like Toto and Gomez and guys like that costs money. Bringing Suarez costs money. So, we have
We
to
got to
make
call out
deals like
Ash
this.
here for
But
this great comment.
oh
Much
yeah,
better than Orlando plays at Inter&Co Stadium. We play in Chase Stadium because Orlando's always chasing us.
yeah. Ooh, that's good. I like that. But
Little dad joke there.
yeah. But just a season ticket holder, or not a season ticket holder, anybody visiting the stadium, a benefit is check the website. I don't remember the sections, but there are 2 sections with
Three.
concession areas. Oh, three?
Yeah,
The
3.
3 sections with concession areas
It's one
tomorrow.
behind 130. I know section 130. There's one in
124, I thought.
Yeah, it sounded like north, west, and east, I believe, got them.
Yeah. So you just have to show your Chase credit or debit card to they'll have a person there in a Chase shirt, I'm guessing. You show them your card, you get a 25% discount on concessions. Um, for tomorrow only, there will be additional discounts for Chase members going forward. But check the website out for further details. Did want to point that out in case any of you are heading out to the stadium tomorrow and hadn't heard yet, because um, you know, the food in the stadium is expensive. You can only feed 1 kid if you're bringing 3. So
So 2 things. I want to cover Pablo's comments. I don't think so.
that'd be
Pablo
cool,
said
but
maybe they'll
no,
offer an IMCF themed card. I don't think they will because there already is that IMCF themed
with
card
event or whatever.
event. I actually have the card. It's kind of useless. The credit limit they gave me was basically enough to buy parking for half a season. So like totally
Solid.
useless card, but I have it in my pocket. So I don't think they will. I will say, and I just want to throw this out there. I don't have any issue with this, but it was like just another little dagger to my heart. Like, we spent 4 seasons going to Drive Pink Stadium. Like, it's a part of like the original culture. I just think this is just another one of
Yeah.
those. Yeah, we're changing. This a grown up team, a legitimate, worldwide sports team has a significant corporate sponsor. And it wasn't Auto Nation Stadium, which is a significant corporate sponsor. It was Drive Pink. And I
Well, they're
think
charity.
it was their charity. But
It's
again,
their charity.
you don't hear about, charity names in front of, these kind of stadiums. It's a significant corporate
Yeah.
sponsor. It's MetLife Stadium or
Yeah, no.
American Airlines Arena. And so Chase Stadium, yeah, you know what? That's what a grown-up team, a significant, a
That and
real
like,
team has.
listen, like we moved up from XBTO on the front, or where is it, X Mana on the sleeve, which were kind of local smaller companies. Or in
Not sure one of them wasn't even a company.
XBTO's comes. Yeah, we don't know what the hell they were doing. But we moved into like Frock, we moved into Royal Caribbean, Chase now. Like we're moving up into like series club. So I agree with you. It's sad that we won't have the pink anymore. It's gone. But now, the club's kind of maturing and we're growing with it. And, hopefully MLS will let us spend some of this nice money in any way we want with new roster rules next year. But
And
probably not.
just to add to that, I was looking at we got the email about an hour ago for, pre-game day. And the fan
Mm.
zone now, Kettle One vodka, bigger vodka than I think there's like tequila previously, a small tequila. Continental. I don't think Continental had a piece. Like, you're seeing more and
Continental
more
was there.
Were they?
The
I think
tire
you're just
company,
seeing more
yeah,
of those
because
more
they're
of those big
they're an
sponsors.
MLS sponsor. That's not just
Gotcha.
an Inter Miami thing.
But you're just seeing more of these big sponsors working their way in as fast as possible because you want to tie your name to Messi.
Yeah.
Just wish Disney would get in on this. Messi wants to go to Magic Kingdom. Get some Disney in this.
He doesn't. He really doesn't.
He actually does. He was at Disney like 2 months ago. Remember, I was there like 3 days before him, and you guys all made fun of me. Like, Mike, you missed seeing Messi.
Yeah, and you were there when Taylor Swift was there or something, right? Or you were just missed Taylor Swift?
I just missed Taylor Swift, I think, too.
Yeah.
I did see Nick Leche one time. I met this close to. Yeah. I saw a celebrity. I walked right by him.
That's cool. I saw Mickey Mouse once, but he didn't stop to talk.
Oh, he always stops talking to me. Gives me a wave, big white hand.
Oh.
Pablo, you've been asking great questions so far, but this keep Disney far away comment. No,
Oh,
no,
Mike's
you
gonna
and Mike,
stop putting your comments up
yeah,
now.
you and Mike V are gonna go in the bad takes column pretty soon together.
Oh, but before we jump into the excitement that is tomorrow, we did want to kind of give our final, just some thoughts on the Newell's game. Um, I think it was a pretty cool game. 1-1 draw. I think for the most part, we look very, very good, very attacking. I think if we could have slotted home some more of our chances, I'd be a lot happier today. But all in all, I thought it was a good showing. It was a cool little game, and I was very glad not to see Messi come out in a Newell's kit.
So,
The more
so
I
let
thought
me.
about it,
I was okay if he did because I think going into the game, you and I are both like, this is an exhibition.
I just didn't
Uh,
want him to get hurt.
yeah,
Somebody put it in my mind that he was going to get hurt, and I was like, no.
yeah. Robbie Robinson was going to come out real quick and just tackle him to the ground. Uh, I gotta say, so I have been Mr. Panic. Anyone listening to the show from day one, day 5, knows that I was not in love with the preseason. I walked away really happy with this match. Frankly, we should have won 1-0. That the goal we gave up was a stupid goal. It was a mistake by Ryan Saylor. We should have scored by more. Gomez positionally was fantastic. He knew
Hmm.
where to be. He was
His
not
passing
great.
was very good too.
Yeah, he played. I
Ball
thought it was
control was
one of the
good.
best. I know it was only a preseason match, but I thought that was one of the best outings he has done with a heron on his chest. I just thought he
Hmm.
played really well. He's a little bit off, but hey, these guys have now been playing for a month together, and he was away with Uruguay the entire time. Uruguay or Paraguay?
Paraguay.
Paraguay. So I thought he played fantastic. We came out in that 4-3-3, which when Tata went back to the drawing board and came out with the 4-3-3, I think that it's really kind of worked for us. It's working with the people we have. The other piece I'd say, kind of two more pieces I'd say on it. Clearly, Noah is the third center back. So we started with
Yeah.
Freire and Toto, and when we subbed Freire out, Noah came in. So it's clear he's third on the depth chart. Sailor's 4. Sergey maybe changes that when he's healthy, but he's still fighting that injury. So I guess we'll see. But my guess would be it's Noah 3, Sergey 4, Sailor 5. If I had to guess,
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to comment on that before I say my last piece because there's one more piece I want to cover.
I think I would. I think Sergey and Noah are probably both 3 because I think Sergey slots into the right center back role, and I think Noah would slide into the left center back role. I do not think Noah would do well on the right side. He hasn't played there at all, and I just don't. I don't see that as being a thing. So I think it's kind of like maybe like a 3A and 3B distinction there. But I agree with you for the most part. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of the depth. I think if they're going to bring anybody in, it would maybe be like slide Toto, who I'm assuming would be the left center back, over to right center and bring Allen in. I think would be the preference other than bringing
Yeah.
Sergey in because you don't want to sacrifice the speed.
The other piece I have to say is Gressel once again a complete no show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. I've said it. I said on the show on Sunday when we were recording. He is, in my opinion, the worst move we made in the offseason so far. I know everyone wants to say, Mike, give him a chance. Okay, he's played 5 preseason games. I don't think there's been a single instance where we can really look and go, man, he's made an impact. He might have had 1 or 2 moments, but there's been no impact, especially when he's in the midfield. And I've been on this train, and maybe I'm completely wrong. When we were going after Gressel, the 2 hot players at the time was Gressel and Miles Robinson, the center back from Atlanta. They both went for max TAM deals. They did not take DP deals. And Miles Robinson is now in Cincinnati, and I think Cincinnati's going to be they were a beast in the East last year, and they reloaded on the defense. Their offense is a little more suspect because they got rid of Vasquez and I forget who else,
Acosta.
Acosta. But I just think we made a huge mistake going after Gressel versus Miles Robinson because considering we could use the defensive help and that Gressel, in my opinion, doesn't have a
Yeah.
place on our starting roster at this moment. I'm not a fan of this still. I'm still not a
So
fan of him. Let him change my mind.
I think your tone will change as games go on, because I think he'll get a little more comfortable in the role. I'm okay with us not taking a chance on Miles Robinson because the injury history worries me. And if we bring him in, we don't get Freire, and then we're one injury away from having Noah Allen as our starting center back.
I don't.
That kind of worries me a bit.
I so let's cover two things. So first off, I don't agree that if we get Miles, we don't get Freire, because I think Miles and Gressel are a financial like switch. So we could have gotten two
Yeah,
center backs.
but I don't think at that point. I think what we would see is we maybe find a way to work Gregory into the budget by not
Mm,
bringing in another mid,
you're
because if you bring in a center back, we only brought one in. So I don't see Tata thinking, "Oh, I need another one if we bring in Miles Robinson." I just don't see that.
I get your train of thought, but there's like a lot of logical jumps you're making, and I don't like it's assumption jump, assumption jump, assumption jump. So I don't agree with it. I think we could have done them both. Um, the RP saw the injury. Let's be honest. Miles played on turf. Miles made it very clear that one of the reasons he left Atlanta was the turf. He'd be playing on what's really a beautiful pitch. Nice, partially synthetic grass pitch. The
Yeah,
injuries, I think, would be much less prevalent. But
maybe.
that's an assumption too. Like I'm making a little bit of an
Yeah,
assumption on that one.
yeah. On this show, Mike's the only one allowed to make assumptions.
No, I'm just calling yours out. You don't call mine out. So that's just
It's
we
because
have an
I like to
opportunity here.
let you have your thought.
Where are we going
If you
next? What's
don't
our
know.
next thing we want to talk about?
Next, let's jump into RSL. Let's jump into our RSL preview. What do we think's gonna happen tomorrow? Who is RSL? Because if I remember correctly, this is our first matchup against them, isn't it? I don't think
I
we've
th-
played them
I
before.
think so. I think we're still kind of working our way through the West a little bit.
Yeah,
Uh, RSL. I know Joker. A couple others listened in on Sunday. We kind of get into this. RSL is a team's team. RSL has one designated player right now, which is Chicho Rango. God, I don't know if I just butchered that or nailed it. I feel like I nailed that this time,
I
but
feel
I
like
might
you
have
were
butchered.
good.
Yeah, it felt good. They've got one DP. Everyone else is players they've brought up through their academy, early acquisitions. Their last DP was a guy that they brought up into the academy and or brought in young, and they just built up until they just had to pay him more money. These guys have basically been playing together for years. They have very little movement in the offseason, whereas we're still figuring each other out. And I know that we've got the Barca boys that play together for 15 years now. We're still kind of figuring each other out. And we saw in preseason,
Mhm,
these guys know each other. And so you're going to have this kind of an interesting matchup between a team that on paper doesn't look very good,
mhm.
which is RSL. They just don't have big names, but have been doing it for years, versus a team
Yeah,
that on paper is the best team MSL has ever MLS has ever fielded, but they're still figuring each other out. And I think that's an
yeah,
interesting matchup. And just kind of throw out some stuff here, just some stats. Uh, RSL was fifth in the Western Conference last year, 11th Supporter Shield, so they were kind of mid, upper mid table. I guess is the best way to say it. Like
yeah,
mid, upper middle class. They're upper mid table. Uh, 14 wins, 12 losses, 8 ties. That's a little bit misleading because I think they had like a 5 or 6 game losing streak really early in the season and then kind of just bounced
yeah. They
off that.
started slow.
Uh, they lost in the playoffs opening round, so not that great. But in the USOC, they actually made it to semifinals and lost to Houston, which, as we know, was a pretty good team. In the preseason, 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie. That tie, so the 2 wins, 1 loss was out in Portugal. They were playing teams out there. So I don't know what to really make of that. But the interesting wing was the tie was against Toronto. I have almost no respect for Toronto at this point. Like I just don't believe that team can ever get it together at this point. So I think that's kind of a low point. Now again, preseason doesn't matter. So just kind of throwing stuff out there. We're gonna win
Yeah.
this. I'm throwing it out there right
Oh,
now. I think we're winning this. But Brandon,
I
you,
mean,
you give your thoughts
uh,
before we get that kind of stuff
so
out.
my thoughts on RSL. One thing we have to consider is, like you said, they're a team's team. Like they're a team very heavy on chemistry, very heavy on familiarity, and so they are the only team in the last 3 seasons to make the playoffs every season. Boom, boom, boom. They even had a run, I think it was 3 years ago, where they made it all the way to the they didn't make
Semifinals, I
it to
think.
MLS Cup, but it was semifinals. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they made a decent run there. They made a deep run into US Open Cup. like this is an easy team to look past because they don't have the star power. They brought in the signing that I like the best is this guy Matt Crooks, who was playing for Middlesbrough last season, in this season until they brought him in. And he's going to kind of play kind of like a cam role. He's going to play a central midfielder, kind of in the more advanced role. And his partnership with Arango is going to be key to their season. Crooks is a guy who makes some good runs, very athletic. Um, he's produced, I think it's like 65 goals and 26 assists across 341 appearances. So he's a guy who can score and also assist. And I think that's the kind of signing like RSL thrives on is guys we've barely heard of,
Yeah.
who come in, make a good impact, gel with the team, and fit in right away. And so that's going to be kind of one of the key things to watch out for. But the one thing, and I agree with you that I think we're going to win this game. And the reason I do is because their defense is not solid. They did not make any improvements on the defense. Outside of they brought in a left back from the Polish top flight league, Alexandros Kitranis, who's very highly rated. But we'll see what happens there. But I do think that their center backs can get caught out. And they're a little bit on the smaller side. They're not so great physically. I think we have an opportunity in set pieces to do really well as I think physically. I think this is a game where Suarez can kind of bully the defenders around and really kind of feast. It's kind of a game that in the past, like Suarez has done really well on. So yeah, I definitely expect us to win on this one. Um, you know, but it all depends on if we can get out of our own way, I think. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think you said it great. Like, this is a team you can really overlook, and I think it's a team where we can get really confident just on paper looking at it. I think this is tomorrow. I know we're not going to fully answer this question because I know you're going to calm this statement down. I think we get a little taste of, does preseason matter? Because I think on paper we should come out. Suarez should be able to really have some fun in the backfield. We should be able to control the midfield, or at least compete for the midfield
Mhm.
against this team.
Yeah, they're going to
We
overload the
should have
midfield
conceded.
because they're going to have at least two holding midfielders. Is generally how they line up. They've got two wide mids, not wingers, just wide mids, and then they've got Crooks in
But,
the middle.
but we shouldn't
So
be
that
conceding the midfield like we have in past games.
no,
Like,
but if we don't dominate it, I wouldn't be surprised just because
no,
we're only
yeah.
going to have three people there.
No, but I just don't think we're going to concede it like we have in past.
Right.
I think now the flip side is, if Suarez is getting bullied, if he's the one being bullied instead of bullying, if the midfield we still can't get through the midfield, I think this is where we start to say, "Hey, preseason did it." So let's discuss it. But I'm the one that's been the biggest one shouting preseason matters, and I'm looking at this going, I expect us to win.
Yeah.
And frankly, I'll put it out there. I think this is a 3-1 game for us. I think that at least one, if not two, of the goals comes from the big four. I just think we're going to come out. We're going to have a lot of energy. That the crowd is going to be electric. I cannot imagine this is not the most electric night ever at Drive Pink Stadium. And
Yeah.
I'm counting.
You can't even buy parking passes. The
No,
link for parking passes went out tonight. And as soon as I clicked on it to go and buy yellow for tonight, I couldn't buy it. So I immediately went and bought
yeah,
one for Orlando.
I immediately, like, I clicked it as soon as it came. I have parking. I was just kind of curious. I clicked as soon as it came out. Parking was immediately not available. And when you talk electric nights, first one the top one always comes to mind is the Orlando game from 2 seasons back, where Campana scores the chip of the century. Electric of electric nights, yes. Messi's first game, electric of electric nights. What an amazing
This is
experience.
gonna be bigger.
This is bigger. Like, everyone knows it's coming. It's been announced. The stadium's sold out. We
It's the only
have
game.
3,000 more seats, fully
Mhm.
fully filled, that didn't exist. And I just think it's a 3-1 win. I will say this, and I'll risk the jinx. If we lose, it is going to be an ugly series of questions that come out of how that happened. But but it's not going to happen because we're going to win.
Yeah. I'm probably more optimistic than you. I think it's a 3-0 win.
By the way, look who joined us, Battered
Well,
Herons, our
there he
friends from
is, our
Battered
boy
Herons,
Danny.
who just want to throw out recently launched a
Yeah.
Discord today. So today's been a
Yeah.
good big day for them. So glad he could jump in and enjoy the show. But
Yeah.
I,
Hop in their Discord. It's going to be fun. They
Danny,
cover
I will
all their
disagree with you.
sports.
I think that Orlando game was the most magical electric game we've had. But the
Mm,
Cruz Azul game, listen, I'm not discounting the Cruz
yeah.
Azul game. Super electric as well. The Messi coming on the field was such an amazing moment. But when I consider the whole game, that Orlando beatdown was just amazing.
Well, that and it was a rivalry game, so I think it kind
Right.
of meant more to us than it would to anybody else with the same scoreline or same time frame. But yeah, that Cruz Azul game was pretty damn electric, especially that free kick. Like that's probably my top. It's probably my top
Man,
soccer moment
Danny's
being in
not
the
fully
stadium.
disagreeing with me, so I'm calling this a win. Like today might be my lucky day.
Mm.
Uh
Listen,
okay,
the season's coming up tomorrow. We're all in good moods. We're all feeling it.
all right,
The
so
vibes are flowing.
we're on paper, on recording 3130. We got some lineups we wanted to throw out there, right?
Yeah. So first up is Mike's lineup.
So
So why don't
I
you
don't
walk us through it?
yeah, I don't think there's a huge amount of surprises though. I'm gonna kind of caution, I'll kind of walk through a couple things. Calendar net, I don't think that's a question. Alba Freire, Toto, Gressel. I think I'm not a Gressel fan, there's no question, but I still think they want to get him in the lineup. I don't think there's room for him in the midfield right now. And so I think that's where you have to play him as right wing back. By the way, Frere may come. There's been talk that Frere, because so they said in the news conference today, Frere is not 90 minutes ready. I even heard the injury might be a little worse than that.
Uh,
So
News conference today said he's not looking good to start. He did an interview, and I don't remember why he was interviewed, but Franco Panizzo said that he was not 90 minutes fit, and
so
from Freier's mouth.
so that's where I'm going. I'm putting him here now, but I wouldn't be shocked to see Noah start there. Like if they swap out Noah, I'm not saying I got this wrong. It was just I didn't know the injuries. Like I didn't know exactly where the injury was.
Yeah,
Uh the one I struggle with is my midfield. So Busquets Gomez in midfield, I think is a lock. And I think you actually disagree on this, but I think it's a lock.
I do.
I Mota have a CDM. I actually had Redondo there up until this morning where I realized, okay, I don't think he'll be here not in time, but I've heard some rumors he might be on team as early as Sunday. So the only
I don't
person
know how that's possible because he has to have a work visa. So unless they're working some magic and greasing some palms,
they
I
could have been
would
working on it
expect him.
for they
I
could have been
would
working on it for
expect it
weeks
for
though.
2 weeks, but I don't know that you can. I think you have to have a finalized
All right.
agreement.
So regardless, I've got Mota in the CDM role. Yannick Bright would have been another name considered, but as far as I know, he's not signed to first team. That has not been shared. There's a first team contract yet, so I don't think it starts. I think Mota starts there. I do think Robbie Taylor is going to be on the left wing, Suarez in the middle, and obviously our number 10 sitting on the screen. It looks like right wing, right? But we all know Messi's just going to play the Messi position. But that's where I'm kind of saying I think this my two big question marks is really Mota and then who starts as a left center back.
Yeah. So let me go to my roster lineup here. So, like you, I have Calendar in goal. I have Alba at left back. I have I have Toto in at left center back, and I think Sergey starts at right center back. I have Yedlin starting at right back because I think Yedlin has more than played his way into that role. And based off of what we've heard Tata say, I don't think he intends to play Gressel as a right back unless he's lying to us like he's done before. My midfield, I
I
have
listen.
Rui.
I think Yedlin's outplayed.
Yeah.
I think he's earned the right wing back start. I don't think so. You okay? Say your midfield, and I'm going to disagree with it, but you go up.
So my midfield, I think you go Ruiz, Busquets at the CDM, and you have Gressel. Again, I'm not saying that I want Gressel to start there. I am on record a million times saying he should be a right back, but I do think that Gressel is going to start it in midfield, and there's nothing we can do about it. I
So
personally, I would rather see Molta start in that role right now, but I don't think that's going to happen.
So my issue, funny enough, isn't Gressel on here. I don't think Busquets is a true CDM anymore. I think he's become more. I don't even know what kind of number to put. Like,
Well,
he's not a defensive player like he used to
so
be. He's
I
just not
agree
there.
with you there, but that's why I think if you have Sergey in, I think that changes things a bit because Sergey's going to play very defensive. Sergey's not going to play like the total high line. He's going to play a step or two behind the high line.
Yeah, but
And
that's not what
I think you
Tata
probably
wants.
don't need it covered. Right. But Tata wants Freyer. He doesn't want Sergey.
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
he's going to
it's
have to make minor tweaks.
okay. I mean,
Because
this
Mota's
is
not a
our first time
CDM
seeing it.
either. Mota's not a CDM either.
But
Mota is more of
Mota,
an attacking player than Busquets.
but
And I
Mota
think
Mota
Busquets
played
and
CDM.
Ruiz, but I think Busquets and Ruiz have a good chemistry, and I can see them switching between those roles and kind of taking turns in the attack.
And I
I think
agree
it's
with you, but I think that I so if you want to put Ruiz and Sergio, I'd have up top, but I still think you have a different CDM in the back. But listen,
but
I don't want to say this. I'm disagreeing, but this is our first regular season game,
well, and this is
so who
not
the hell
like our
knows?
best 11.
Right.
Like Redondo is going to be our CDM.
Yep.
Like there's no question about that. So, do I think Busquets can play CDM for one game against RSL? 100%. 100% he can play in that role and be fine. I think Ruiz has played himself into the starting lineup. I think the only reason you didn't have Ruiz in your midfield is because you slotted Gomez back. I think Gomez, it's very clear they want him to play on the left wing, and I think he looked great against Newell's in that position. He made the runs like we talked about. He controlled the ball well. He passed the ball well. He just needs to have that clinical finish. So you know, he had it
I,
in the U22 qualifiers. We'll see if he can get it back.
so I just think Robbie Taylor has shown enough consistency last season, preseason, that you want him in the starting 11. And so right
So
now we have a problem. And this is a good problem, which is you have more than 11 guys you can start on this team. And it's kind of which way does Tata want to take it? Like I just think they're going to want to try to play Robbie. You got to play Gomez, how he's playing.
so again, Mike, I know this is not how I want to line up. This is how Tata is going to line up. This is if it were up to me, Robbie Taylor would be the starting left wing.
See,
100%.
I get it. I think Tata does it
100%.
differently because I
But
think Tata would
but
sacrifice.
Tata
Remember,
doesn't do that. Tata doesn't do that, man. You have to get
Tata's
inside the man's mind.
yeah,
You're
but
not
that's
in
why I
there.
think your back line is wrong. Your back line is he's going to play a
This
high
back
line,
line is because Freire is
and
going to come off the bench and
Christoph's
play
injured.
the last. He's going to play the last 20 minutes.
So I will say I talked to someone who knows something and told me Christoph is still injured. So I don't think Christoph can start, which
Well,
means you're going to have Noah's.
when asked about injuries, Tata did not say anything, and MLS's injury report that they released did not have him listed on there.
I'm
So
just saying
that's
what I
why
was
he's
told.
there for me.
I'm just
That's why
saying
he's
what I was
there for
told.
me because ordinarily it would be Freire.
But I think it's going to be no. Okay, Frere or Noah, either one. He wants to play a high line, and so I think he's gonna.
Mike, I'm not disagreeing with you. I know
But
what he wants to do, but he does not have the tools to do that
he
tomorrow night.
does.
He
Yeah, he
doesn't.
does. He can play
No, he's
Toto
not.
and
He is
Noah.
not going to start Noah Allen at left center back. He's not.
Okay.
He's not. Not if Sergey's healthy and not with Toto. He's not going to do it.
I can promise the tweet tomorrow when the lineup comes out will be literally just Mike was right or Branton was
I
right. It's
swear
going to
to
be one of
God.
those two. It's going to be
I'm
one.
telling you. Listen, man, I
Yo,
am inside this guy's mind. I know what he's going to line up.
What happens if
know
he
what
comes
he's
out with
gonna
a
do.
3? No, he's going to do tomorrow. He's going to go back to the 3-5-2. It's going to be a 3-5-2, and we're all going to
no
go.
one's going to start.
What the hell?
He's going to have Yedlin and Gressel as center backs with Sergey in the middle, Noah at right back.
It's going to be a 3-5-2. It's going to be it's going to be Suarez and Campana up top, Messi in the midfield. Like we're all going to go.
Yeah.
WTF, mate? Like what happened here?
Yeah, but what I expect in this, what I expect him to kind of do is, obviously let Messi kind of roam.
Yeah,
God,
100%.
I hope not, Alex. But
my boy Alex,
let
I
Messi.
appreciate you coming watch the show. He's my son's best friend's dad. Like it's awesome. Appreciate Alex jumping on.
Yeah. But that's what I think Tata's gonna do. Again, it's not what I would do. It's not the best starting 11, but that's what I think he's gonna do. We'll see.
Mike V just commented, "You guys are killing me with the name Frey. It's Frey. I can't say it.
Listen,
Rich,
I was told that I was saying it correctly.
I
I was
can't
told
say
by multiple people. So I'll just call him. I don't know. I'll come up with
All
a
right,
nickname for him
we
for
definitely
next
have some.
episode.
I think our disagreement starts like from the back line up because we can't set up the back line. So
Well,
we're gonna see what happens. I just at this point it's a crapshoot. I passionately disagree. I know you are deep inside Tata's head. So if it's a perfect facsimile, I will listen. I'll buy you around tomorrow. I'll get you a lobster roll
yeah, in the
and a
Northwest
beer.
Club, you're gonna buy me
And
around.
well, I gotta pay for liquor. I'm gonna get you a nice bourbon.
Oh, well,
Take care of you.
in that case, and let's hope we got that coming
All right,
out.
what's
But
next? What's next? So we're
next
3-0,
season
3-1. We got some
predictions.
lineups. Season
We've got some fun
predictions.
things we want to run through. We got a couple categories that Mike and I picked out. Just what we think the season's gonna look like. Yeah.
And as we're going
Thanks,
through them, we'll
Danny.
go through them slow. So if you want to jump on a comment and disagree, we'll try to get stuff up there as fast as possible.
Yeah. So the first one is trophies. How many trophies do you think we're gonna win, and which ones do you think we win, Mike? Can you believe we're asking that question as Inter Miami fans?
Is it wrong? I want to say 0.
Say it. Go for it.
I just I've been giving this so much thought. So
Make
much
sure
thought.
you write these down because we're gonna revisit these at the end of the
Yeah,
season.
and I hope let's be clear. I could not hope more than I'm wrong. CCC is going to be a hell of a hard one to win, right? Like that is as tough as they come. We're not going to compete in US Open Cup. I know. I wanted you to rant on that tonight. We're not get the chance. You'll get your chance.
We don't have time for that.
Yeah, we're not going to win US Open Cup. We're not going to win Supporters Shield. It's literally impossible with the amount of international call ups. So that leaves repeating Leagues Cup, which is tough. And I think, by the way, I've said this to you privately. The Liga MX teams are going to come out strong, and I really would be shocked if a MLS team wins the cup this year. So the only one I really think we have a shot at is MLS Cup. So like it's either none or MLS Cup to me. I don't see us winning anything else.
You gotta have a solid answer.
I said
You
0. I'm sticking on my 0. I'm walking through my reasoning, but okay. I'm putting out a 0. And I know. Right. Listen, I don't want to be right, but that's where I'm sitting right now.
I think we win 2 trophies this year. I think we win CCC, and I think we win MLS Cup.
I would love that.
I pointed out many times I don't think that we can win Supporters Shield just because you just with the roster rules you can't be competitive in league and everything else. And I just don't see us going 100% after Leagues Cup only because Messi will just be getting back from Copa. So I just don't see us really focusing on that. So I said it once, I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it again. We are a tournament team. I think we can make a run in CCC, and I think we can make a good run once we make the playoffs.
And I believe those. Like I can look at that and say that is a believable outcome. CCC has been tough consistently for MLS teams, and MLS Cup is historically a crapshoot. I think you said it on Sunday. The number 1 seed almost never ever wins CCC.
Well,
I'm sorry, MLS Cup
won't be the number 1 seed.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like,
no
but not even just number 1 seed. The team you expect to win so rarely wins MLS Cup, whether it's the number 1 seed or just the team coming up late. Like I think the most recent one I disagree is like LAFC 2 years ago. Like everyone knew really had the best shot at it, but even then, like they were not the ones. Like Philadelphia Union looked great. So anyway, I'm gonna stick with 0. I want to be wrong, but I'm gonna stick with 0. I agree. By the way, Mike V just put this up here. If we don't win MLS Cup, it's a fail. I think that we said that on the show Sunday. I agree with that statement. I think I'm predicting somewhat of a failure, which sucks, but that's kind of where I'm sitting right now. I do 100% agree. If you don't win MLS Cup this year, it is a fail.
And Mike's basing all these predictions off of preseason, by the way.
What are you basing it off of? You're basing it off of preseason too, and
basing it off of past performance of champions like Robbie Taylor. Overall record. What do you think the record is?
What? It just regular season?
Yeah. You
30
put this one on here.
I know, but I actually went on my way not to like dive into this. Like I wanted to
Okay,
just
well
kind of
then
throw it
let's
out there.
not, because I thought overall record was a bit crazy. What
Okay.
seed do you think we finish? What position in the East?
Sixth.
Okay,
Six,
I have fourth.
and we are very nervous the last 5 games.
Interesting. No, I have fourth, and I don't think we're nervous. I think we're 15, 9, and 10, which is kind of right around what the fourth seed had last year. So
I
right,
think
splitting the difference, gamer class. I like it.
Yeah, I think the second half of the season with Copa, I'm going to assume there's some injuries to some of our better players just throughout the season. I think we're going to struggle at points, and I think we're gonna remember
Well,
first 9 get in, so 6 even you're not that far, but I think it's gonna
no,
be like you got to win a few games towards the
I
end.
think 5, 4, 5, 6. I think somewhere in there. Like all those teams last year, I think had the same record. I think it was just
There
split
was
by goal
Well,
differential.
that was in the East. The East was a tight race last year. The
Yeah,
West
we're
was
in
more
the
spread out.
East.
But I'm just saying it changes every year. But
The West
last
was
year's East was super
worse.
tight.
So MVP for this year. I
Messy.
mean, obviously we're going Messi.
I mean, even if he
Not
played
named,
only 4 games, it would be messy.
yeah. MVP not named Messi.
MVP not named Messi. Uh, man, that wasn't on our list.
No, but
MVP.
I go Alba.
No, I think he's gonna get injured.
You are such a Debbie Downer,
I'm
man.
going Busquets. I think
Okay.
Busquets is a little bit of an Iron Man. I think
And you
he's
know
gonna
what? I
play the
think
majority.
Busquets gets injured.
Okay, well, that's
I
fair.
really don't.
I think he's a little bit of an Iron Man. I think if you saw what happened to his ankle and the fact he's going to probably play tomorrow, I think
Yeah.
he's resilient.
Yeah.
I'm going with Busquets.
Top scorer.
Robbie Roberts. No. uh, hmm.
Only one answer, man.
No, there's 2. There's legitimately
God,
2 answers. It's Messi or Suarez. I'm trying to decide which one I want to say.
Suarez.
Okay, I'll take Messi. I'll take the flip side of that one.
Okay.
We should be writing these down
Uh,
that we decided all this.
I
Like it
have
should have.
mine written down, by the way. I'll go back and write yours down after the show.
I just wanted to take it like live. I wanted to kind of force myself to think it through, like on the air. We got. By the
I
way, I
wanted
just
to
want
be
to throw out some
prepared
names.
for our
So,
listeners.
I can see. It looks like we got Campape or Gomez. Pablo Borgelin. I don't think that's gonna happen.
You know what? I do think Borgelin's staying with the team though, so it's possible.
Possible. Top scorer. We got Messi from Steve. Campape top scorer. That's a bit of a reach, but let's.
It's
Use it.
possible. It depends on
All right, so
injuries, but top assist.
Messi.
See, I'm going Alba because I think Alba will assist most of Messi and Suarez's goals.
I'm gonna stick with Messi.
Okay. I mean, I could see Messi happening too. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously,
it's
best
Messi.
defender
It's
in the world
Messi.
or best player in the world. Top defender.
Alba. Well, he'll be the top rank. Like he'll be the defender everyone remembers this year. Like he'll win that award. I think the guy who'll actually step into the defense more than anyone else is Freire. I don't want to even pronounce it at this point. Now I feel just embarrassed, but Freire's gonna. It might be an Iere. Freire's gonna be the guy who locks that defense. Oh,
See,
I'm
I'm
holding
going
back.
out on
Wait,
a limb.
if you're gonna
I'm
say
going
Redondo,
Toto.
I'm okay. I'm changing then. I'm going. I forgot about Redondo. I'm going Redondo. I think he's going to come in and really defend it as a CDM and
Yeah.
really make a difference.
I mean, I think he will. I don't know if you can consider him a defender, but
Maybe he's a CDM.
we'll see. Yeah.
Toto's a good answer. I think Toto's really starting to grow up. I think if he can,
he looks like he's put some weight onto that frame
because
this
he's had
offseason, which is good.
He's a little bit older. A little bit older, and he's in a new training regimen. I think I would throw out here South American expectations on the pitch for like physicality is different than MLS. I'm not saying one's better than the other, but it's different. And so I could see our guys trying to put some weight on him.
Yeah. Biggest surprise player.
Oh, who did I say on Sunday? I forgot who I said on Sunday. You go first while I'm thinking this one up.
I'm going Robbie Taylor, even though I think it's hard to be surprised by Taylor because we all know what he's capable of. I do think that by the end of the season, I think even though I don't have Robbie Taylor in our opening day starting lineup, I do think he's a starter on this team by the end of the year. And I think we'll look back and say, "Damn, he carried us when Messi wasn't here."
I'm gonna go with Gomez.
Good pick too.
Gomez, when he came on the pitch last year, I wanted to never see him on the pitch again. I thought it was the worst. And remember, beginning of the season, I'm like, trade him, keep Emerson, get rid of Gomez. I said it. You saw what he did in the Olympics, and what I saw against Newell, I'm like, this guy can play. And so if he can link up and keep his temper under control, because those MLS defenders are going to have a field day with that kid and his temper and his ability to like lose control. But I think he could be a major part of our team.
I like that, Steve. I do. I like Yannick Bright.
My thing is
I
Yannick's not, it doesn't have first team contract. I would love it. I actually think it's a great pick, but he's
so
not officially on the team, I don't
and,
think.
and I'm glad you brought Yannick up. The reason I don't know how much we're gonna see of him is he is an Italian national. So from all the research I was able to do, he would take up an international roster spot. And those are at a premium with the team right now, especially because I don't know, but I have a feeling we're making a move in the summer. I've heard some rumors, and when we get closer, we'll talk about that. But um, so I don't know how ready we are to hand out those international spots.
Yeah,
I would
I
love it.
suggest, yeah.
I think Gomez can do it. He showed it in the World Cup qualifier or the Olympic qualifiers. Last one, homegrown standout for this year.
Uh, who'd I go with? Oh, Ian Frey. I think Ian Frey comes off injury, and we talk about our
God, I
defense
would love
being
that.
we talk about our defense really struggling on depth. I think he comes back from injury, and I think he makes a huge impact. I just Honestly, there's easy answers, Kamaski and Ruiz, and you all know I want to say Noah, but I really want to see Ian come back and make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, with what the kid's been through, and I do think that's gone into some of the reasons why we haven't signed another center back. I think he is clearly in the team's plans. We've seen his talent. He's a guy who could play center back and could even back up Redondo when he gets here. So I think that's a great shout. I'm going David Ruiz because I think this is his year to ball out. I think he's gonna go nuts, especially with Kremoski out for at least the first quarter, if not a little bit longer of the season. I think it's really Ruiz's chance to shine, and he could end up being our first player sold,
And
homegrown sold
I just
overseas.
want, if I can just take the soapbox out for 30 seconds. I am so sick of this concept that Inter Miami's a bought, not built team. When we're sitting here naming one guy after another that are academy guys that are legitimate starters, and not just
Even
legitimate
draft
starters
picks.
on MLS, on Inter Miami, they're legitimate starters on any team in MLS. These guys can go plug and play into their squad, their starting 11. And
Yeah.
so, like, we've got a hell of an upcoming class. And the Moss brothers are going to make some money on these kids when we start to sell them off. Like, these are some really, really going to be some guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And haters gonna hate, man. I said it last week.
Haters gonna hate.
Um, so next we wanted to have a little fun. We know, kit release happened. All the teams' kits are out now, ready for the new season. So we wanted to give you guys just a snapshot of what we thought were the 5 best and 5 worst kits to come out. So we'll start with Mike's top 5 here. And here they are.
These are some
Mike,
good
walk us
kits.
through it.
I mean, I like a pattern. I like exciting. I think I'm being a little the LAFC kit. I don't know if you saw their video
I think the
with
video is making it rank
it.
higher than
Okay, it's taking it from like an upper mid kit to like that kit. 'Cause that video with Will Ferrell, just I loved it. I really like Red Bull's kit. I think that's a great looking kit. Minnesota's kit I think is a little out there. I think it's a love it or hate it type kit. Uh, I like the Colorado's checkerboard. In some ways, reminds me of like a Czech, not Czech, Modric's. Where's Modric from?
Croatia.
Croatia kit with her Czech, and then I'm a sucker for a good blue, and I think Charlotte's just. I think these are just nice kits.
Yeah.
I think I just really like that. I have a weird affinity for LAFC. I always have, and I just think they made a nice kit this year.
Yeah.
Oh, and look who is watching right now. It's the one and only.
Tej.
The one and only Tej is watching.
I can't wait to see that kid tomorrow.
All right, what we got next? Are you seeing your top?
Next is my top 5.
All right,
which is completely different than your top 5.
Remember, I'm colorblind, so our viewers should know I am red-green colorblind, so I get a little pass on some of this stuff.
So for him to say it's a nice blue, it has to be a really nice blue for him to notice it. But yeah, I think a lot of teams killed it this year. My favorite kit is Seattle. And I get why it's probably not ranked higher for you.
No, I love this kit. This was on my list.
It was number 6.
No,
it was sitting at number 6 names.
It was number 4. I'm looking at the list right now.
Oh well, you know what?
You missed it. It was in my. Yeah, no, it was.
You gave me 6 names for top 5.
I admit that, but it was number 4.
Oh, I took one out.
Yeah, it was Seattle. I like this kit.
Well, so yeah, no, I love that, and you can't see it. I love the orca on the shoulder. I love everything about this kit. I think it's great. Number 2 for me is Portland's kit. I love the evergreen pattern like that. If you're gonna do a center logo, everybody knows how much I hate the center logos, and I will reluctantly wear it tomorrow. But that's how you do a center logo. That's how you nail it. Real Salt Lake. I think they came out and they hit it out of the park with this one. I think it screams Salt Lake with the mountain imprint. It's bold, it's out there. It's something we haven't seen from RSL. This next one, Chicago. A lot of people are going to tell me, "Oh my god, they hate it. They hate it." But I love this kit because it's going back to their roots. And I think we saw a lot of MLS teams try and do that and go back to their roots this season. Some teams did it, like Seattle and Chicago did it really well. Other teams, when we get to our bottom 5, we'll see, did not do it so well. And rounding out the top 5, I love the NYCFC kit. I think it's like a really great embodiment of like the neon lights of New York. I think it's awesome. I think it pops. Love them all.
So put that back up real quick because I want to make 2 comments.
Yeah.
One, I got to say, I think the Chicago Fire kit is fire. I think it's simple. It's plain. It's a good looking kit. It wasn't in my top 5, but
it reminds me of Bastion. What's his name? God. Anyway, go on. He used to.
But I think it's a fire kit. The NYCFC kit is interesting to me because I do think it's a good looking kit. I think it I see. This is almost one of those kits that you wear at a night out. Like it's a club level, like kit. I almost I couldn't put it on my list because I almost felt it was too simple. And with so many clubs doing some really cool stuff this year, without getting complex, like the Seattle kit, that's a simple kit, it's just stripes, but they made it rock. I almost think they went too simple with the colors, but it's a great kit. If I wasn't a passionate Inter Miami fan, if I was willing to buy other MLS kits, I would be willing to buy that kit. But it was just a little, but yeah, it's a good kit, but it's almost like I almost feel like I'd be embarrassed to say it's my top 5 because it just doesn't have it. They didn't put that effort in that so many of the other clubs really put in on the details. Like basically said, cut it down the center, do 2 different colors, we're done with the kit. Like I know minimalist is a thing, but
for me, it's the colors that do it.
Oh, I love it.
Like they just pop.
Like, and I get it. I love neon colors. I do, but it's just missing something. So, all right, you got one kid on here.
I know you hate the RSL kit. I know you do.
I hate the RSL kit.
I know.
I put up my bottom 5.
I know. I'm going to it now. Here's your bottom 5.
Okay, so let's start out with what I think is okay. First off, let's start with the worst kit, and you and I agree. Orlando City, worst kit. Not even a conversation. Who the hell would wear that kit?
Okay, so I hate the Orlando City kit purely because it's Orlando City.
Purely because of it.
But I did not put it on my bottom. I didn't put it on my bottom 5 only because the design of it doesn't bother me.
Okay, well, it's the worst kit.
I like the badge that they went to their old, like, again, a lot of teams going back to the old. and we said like some teams really did it well, some teams maybe didn't. I think Orlando's badge is pretty cool. You take Orlando City off of there, and I'm thinking, okay, that's neat.
So let me cover the other one. So we've got Columbus's Charlie Brown kit, which it's interesting. If there wasn't a character by Charles Schultz, right?
Yeah,
Named Charlie Brown, it's a cool kit. But the problem is, I feel like no one said, "Hey, this looks exactly like Charlie Brown." And now, whenever I've seen a player put it on, I think he looks like Charlie Brown, and I just can't get by that. So that is
okay,
a horrible.
that's
I
fair.
struggle.
A lot
I
of people
think
hate it.
I think the Salt Lake kit looks like something a clown would wear, or like a big
Ooh,
top tent. Like I think of
damn.
circuses. I just look at that and I think of circuses, and I think
Ooh,
it's a total misfire because I think they look silly in this kit.
really?
Yeah, I just like it completely looks like a circus tent. I didn't even know those were mountains, by the way. I'm glad you said that because it kind of made me feel a little better. But I saw a big top, like I saw a circus. Like I can't get by that
Okay,
this is a circus.
I could see
And then
it.
my issues with Toronto and San Jose, frankly, is these look like kits a youth club level would wear. They're they're they're
Yeah.
they're they're too simple. They're like
So
someone went to the store, they bought the cheap generic Adidas ones, and which listen, Inter Miami has been fairly accused of doing in the past.
yeah,
They bought the cheap generic Adidas kit, slapped a logo on it, maybe added some like I know the Toronto kit's got the little sleeves, like they put a little touch on it, but it just looks cheap and generic. I don't think there was any effort. It's not necessarily a bad kit. It just reeks of no thought and no effort.
yeah, and so the Toronto kit makes an appearance on my bottom five. Spoiler alert! Just because I think it's a white T-shirt with some red accent. I did not put the Quakes kit on it because it is trying to throw back to their original kit. If you look at their original kit, it looks very similar to this. They went with the old logo. So I did not put it on my bottom five only because they're trying to go with something.
I get it,
Um,
but you can do throwback with design references that still modernize, and I don't
yep.
feel like that's a modernized throwback.
Yeah. And I get that. That's a fair criticism, but that's the only reason like we'll go to my bottom five here. The
Oh,
worst
you
one,
did it,
I
dude.
did it. The worst one to me is Toronto. St. Louis is right behind it. The only reason St. Louis didn't beat out Toronto is because every single St. Louis City kit is different. The wave pattern on each jersey is unique, which I thought was pretty cool. Quakes, that's why they weren't my bottom. I did put them in my bottom five, but I didn't put them at the bottom because it is kind of throwing back to their old kit. The Houston kit, I don't, it doesn't scream Houston to me. I had no clue that their secondary color was purple because I've never seen them wear purple. And to me, it just looks like the Orlando City kit. So that's probably why I hate it. And then I put our kit bottom five. I think we really screwed up with this center badge. I really do.
I will say this
I
about our
hate it.
kit. I can't put our kit in the bottom five. Hey, I like our kit. Like I am a fan of our kit, but I think there's a certain guy we call Contra. He'd call this mid. I think my son would also probably call our kit mid. It is a it's different. It's it's the center that's different. At least it's not something if you just took our current kit, this kit and just went with a normal pattern distribution, I'd be saying, okay, great, we've got another like youth club kit. At least we did something different. So I'll give like I think there's credit into trying something different, but there's a lot of great kits this year. And I will
Yeah.
admit we are not top five. We're not a top 10. We're not even a top 15 kit. I just don't think we're also in the bottom five because there's a lot of these kits. You got Toronto, St. Louis, San Jose, Houston. These are all very boring kits that just
Yeah.
repeated what everyone's had. And I think that Miami is a level above those kits. And those four, there's not the only four in that.
Yeah. And so, I think Miami maybe probably gets down here just because I was so disappointed personally by it. So that probably clouds it a little bit, but there were a lot of good kids. I do want to shout out, it didn't make my top five because this detail is not part of the players kit. So I didn't include it. But Nashville SC, did you hear what they did with their kits?
The badge.
They have neighborhood patches for every neighborhood in the city of Nashville. And you can go, and when you buy your jersey or you order it online, you specify what neighborhood you're from, and they send you a unique patch for that neighborhood with the jersey on it. They put it on it. And so I think that is freaking awesome. And I
Listen,
think that would be a
Nashville.
cool thing for Miami to do.
Listen, Nashville. We we always compare ourselves to Nashville, right? Because we were the sister clubs, came at the same time, and everything Miami did wrong in the beginning, Nashville did right. And I still think to this day that is a true statement. Where we
Yeah.
struggle, they better. They've historically done better. Uh, this year's the year we
We
should
got a trophy
surpass them.
first,
We got a trophy
suckers.
first over them, though we are playing. There's a 50-50 chance we're going to play them in CCC. Actually, how'd their first match go? Have they had their first CCC match?
I don't think so.
It's
Maybe.
got to be coming up.
I don't
Um,
know. I've been too
but
worried about practice.
Nashville is a great club. I know you didn't get a chance to come out there with us when we went out there for the League Cup final. There's a great stadium. So yeah, when they do some cool stuff, I always look at them with like a man. We should be doing that too. That could be
Yeah.
us.
Oh, thanks, gamer class.
I
First
think we
match
both
is Thursday.
first touch. Gear Class also said this, and I think this is a great view. Nashville is our true rival. Orlando's to me is our true rival, but Nashville is a rival to me in my head. I don't know if the
I
club
think
recognizes it, but I
I
do feel
think
that same
MLS
way.
screwed that up when they moved them to the West for
Yeah,
that season. Because I felt the same way, and then we didn't play him for a year, and then I was like, oh, okay. It
yeah,
didn't matter. So, but I agree. It feels good to play against them and to beat them, and we got a trophy first. So suck it. Enjoy
yeah,
your
and
patch.
our Anthony on the Sunday show asked me, favorite MLS player, Walker Zimmerman. Like I really, really embrace Nashville. They're one of my favorite teams in MLS. So no, I think it was really cool what they did with that jersey.
Yeah, it was cool. So before we wrap
Kendall would have a Benz parked in front of efficiency on the badge.
which neighborhood would have a lion statue on it? I
So
was
you got to
recently
understand,
introduced to that.
when I lived in Jersey, I had a lion statue. In fact, my parents brought it to the house in Weston. I grew up with a lion statue, so every time they make that comment, I laugh.
Yeah, I forget who it was
Rest
that
just
was
rid of croqueta.
educating me on those. But before we wrap it up, and I know we've run a little bit over, and some of you guys are probably heading over to Battered Herons as you should be, to hear their take on the news. But we want to open it up to any kind of fan questions you guys might have. If you want to ask us a question, what we think we're going to do, where we're going to be tomorrow, we're going to be at the stadium right when the gates open. We'll be in the green lot under the Green Lot Gang tent. So come and hang out with us if you're there. Mike will have the Inter Miami Show stickers to give out, and we will be hosting two RSL fans that
Yeah.
we kind of met through our friend Anthony on Sunday, and so it'd be cool to hang out with them and hang out with the Siege and Black Herons and Green Lot Gang and everybody else.
Yeah, I'm gonna got the stickers, bring a couple bottles of rum. Siege is hosting Bay 13, so there's gonna be a chance to get all you can eat food, some all you can eat Table Crusher IPA. I believe that's the beer that they created for Siege.
First question from our
Wow,
main man TJ.
who clearly was not listening the whole show, was I think watching
Hey,
Punked.
it doesn't matter. Why do
Yeah,
you have to harass your son? Son's a good
because
kid.
he is a good kid, but he doesn't know. He's ignoring his dad. TJ, we both think we're gonna win. I got us at 3-1, and Branton's got us at 3-0.
3-0.
I did get this question as we're looking for any more written to me. Someone proposed that we need a new annual tradition of drinking to celebrate roster compliance. I feel this year, I absolutely agree with you. The problem is, if I start drinking at midnight tonight, I'm going to be in rough shape for our first match tomorrow. So I will celebrate tomorrow at the tailgate with a drink for Chris Henderson, taking probably one of the most challenging teams to get to roster compliance in recent memory with everything that we've had to do. So we will definitely cheers to that in the parking lot.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to build the statue.
He has earned that statue time and time again. I did look into doing a Fat Boy or the Fathead, one of the standing like statues. Okay, surprisingly expensive, and I wasn't quite ready to do
Really?
it. But yeah, it was gonna be like $150, $200 just for that cardboard cutout.
Jesus.
If they let us back into our old parking spot, I will continue looking into doing that again. And just a reminder for
I have
those
an
who don't know,
idea.
the green lot is in the green lot that's north of the stadium. Easy way to find us. We run a couple big flagpoles up. There'll be a green lot gang and a belief flag typically flying. The siege. Siege tends to have an Ice Spice flag. I don't know if Nico's gonna do the Ice Spice flag, but there's a good chance there's gonna be an Ice Spice flag. Like that's how you find us. I'll be rocking tomorrow I'm gonna have, I don't know what I'm gonna have on because it might be cold.
You already
Green Light
said you're
Gang
wearing the
jersey.
same outfit you've got on.
Yeah, that's at game time though. I tailgate in a different gear outfit. I don't know what I'm wearing
It's gonna
tailgate.
be
So
little. I don't think you're gonna need to change tomorrow.
it doesn't
By
matter. It's
game time,
tradition.
it's gonna be in the 60s, man.
It's
pretty sure.
tradition.
All right.
Tradition.
Well, you do you, man.
All right, I know we got a couple people still listening. Any questions? Anything else to wrap up? Went a little long, but I think we were having a little too much fun again today.
Yeah. So my idea, Chris Henderson bobbleheads.
We can do this. It can be
We
done.
can do this. And if you guys want it to happen,
well, we still got to do some Inter Miami show
more,
hats. I need a hat to be rocking out. We have the stickers. We need some hats. And I got to do a flag.
Yeah.
That's coming soon.
I want a flag. I need a sticker. I don't have any stickers.
I know. I haven't seen you in a few weeks.
I need like 3. All right, guys. Oh,
one last one. Who are you going to think we're signed next? Officially, Redondo, our new CDM. Unofficially, I am not saying because I don't want to jinx it. I'll tell you,
well,
TJ, when I tuck you in a few minutes, I'll tell you who I think we're going to sign. I'm going to leave our
and TJ, you better not tell anyone, man.
Yeah.
This is the best lead we've got.
Sink ship.
Yeah. But anyway, guys. All right, last call. You guys have 10 seconds to hop in here with any questions. And then we'll end it. And you guys can go hop over to Battered Herons and hang out with them.
Or go to sleep and get ready for tomorrow's game.
You need sleep. Just drink all the way through. That's what I say.
You didn't want to come over for the 3 a.m. game. Joe and I tried that, and it didn't work.
You guys don't pace yourselves.
That's true. All right, let's wrap it up. Play the music. Let's get out of here.
All right, guys. As always, thank you guys for listening. Thanks for everyone in the chat for making tonight's show really fun. Hopefully we'll see a lot of you guys out at the stadium tomorrow. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. It really helps us get some traction. We were doing really good at getting new listeners. We've kind of plateaued a little bit, so hoping you guys can help us out there. And please share with any friends that you might have that are interested in Inter Miami, and let's spread the word, and so we can get Chris Henderson bobbleheads. On that note, good night, everyone, and we will see you on Thursday.